Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover here, coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video. We're going to take a look at 3 articles here. We have chart points to Bitcoin peaking out in early 2021, trader says, and this is by CNBC News. And then we're going to also take a look at crypto token falls as much as 31% after Coinbase says it has halted trading following SEC complaint against Ripple. So obviously we came out with that article yesterday, and there's been more articles released about XRP. And then Bitcoin mining stocks surge after cryptocurrency passes 28,000 for the first time. We're going to take a look at one mining stock that you probably haven't heard of, and also go over that chart too as well on today's video. So if that sounds interesting, folks, go ahead and stick around and let's get started. All right, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that we make on this channel. And that way you share this video with your friends and family if they're interested in crypto. And okay, we are looking at this peak at about early 2021. This trader from CNBC News says, it says here, Bitcoin could be headed for a breather in the new year. The red hot cryptocurrency continued its longest monthly win streak in more than a year after Monday, gazing a new all-time high above $28,000 mark on Sunday. Based on the charts, the run might be put to pause come 2021. Founder and President Newton advisor Trading Nation on Monday. Okay, it is still quite bullish on an immediate term basis, given that it just broke out to new all-time highs. Newton said, I think we have ways to go near term. My cycle composites show us peaking out in early January. So obviously, you know, January's pretty much right around the corner. It is the 29th as of right now, and Bitcoin's sitting right at about 26,300. So obviously we've had a little bit of a dip as of right now. Bitcoin's weekly chart is relative strength index, reflecting rising interest in the world's largest digital currency. Most foreign institutional investors, Newton said. Okay, Google searches for Bitcoin are up 750% this year. So we did go over the Google Trends list I believe 2 videos ago, and you know, we're nowhere near the peak that we saw with retail investors getting into the space in 2017, and those searches are nowhere near that peak at either yet. So this, you know, I still want to say that. You know, this obviously this analyst, you know, may have their own conclusions based on what they think. And then obviously I'm just some guy on YouTube. So when we go over the charts, you know, do your own research and make sure that you seek your own financial advisor if you have any questions. So let's see, it said, I just don't think investors have quite the appetite for crypto, while the institutionals are certainly very heading in that direction. Newton, other chart, which uses 3 different Bitcoin cycles, the main one being 273 days to track changes in the cryptocurrency path, hits an upcoming turn in Bitcoin's directional change. I guess this is their Bitcoin cycle composite to Bitcoin. Okay, interesting. So it looks like it does look, I'm not too sure what this chart is trying to tell us, but interesting. All those years where we had this stellar Q4, we reversed course and trend back in late December, early January, and actually went lower, he said. So I think there will be some opportunity for investors to be able to buy dips in crypto and Bitcoin particularly. Oh, okay, so if y'all are unfamiliar, you know, pretty much every January there's always kind of a dip, and I do believe the Chinese New Year is also around the January, February area too as well. So usually the market likes to consolidate or take a little dive for some retracement, and yeah, that's definitely to be expected. Obviously we've had a really nice run up all the way to $28,000, and now we're starting to see a little bit of sideways movement in the charts, and then obviously we might see a little bit of a retracement too as well. Can it go to $50,000? Absolutely, he said. Trading Nation interview, cautioning that if we are looking to trade or invest this asset, you have to have the mentality that's going to have the huge amount of volatility. Yeah. Also, the ultimate valuation is, it's impossible to say, but one interesting measure, if you look at the tulip mania, in the peak of the tulip mania, one tulip was worth basically about one house. If you do that to the kind of valuation, then it is still a long way to go, because the ultimate terminal valuation could be $150,000 to $200,000 before the whole move kind of exhausts itself. So many have said, and quite a lot of potential, but there's certainly going to be massive volatility when we get there. You know, I don't really like when people compare this to like the tulip bubble, but I get where they're coming from. Obviously, if they think it's a bubble, then that's their prerogative. But I think that crypto's here to stay, and probably Bitcoin too as well. And you know, we're going to see higher numbers for sure. You probably will be able to buy your own house when it comes to Bitcoin in the near term future, just by trading one Bitcoin in. And you know, that's pretty much already in the books, in the given. But now we're just waiting and being patient with ourselves, hodling our bags, and you know, getting ready for the rest of 2021. Obviously, there could be some retracement and some dips, but we are ready to buy those up if it is to occur. So taking a look here, crypto token XRP falls as much as 31% after Coinbase says it will halt trading following SEC complaint against Ripple. Cryptocurrency XRP fell as much as 31% on Tuesday after the trading platform Coinbase said it suspended its trading, and it's going to suspend the trading. In mid-January last week, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed a complaint. Okay, so the SEC definitely wants their money here, but obviously this is having an effect, I feel like, on the whole market. So people are really unsure about whether or not their tokens are considered securities or not, and you know, really just kind of staying cautious here. We're probably going to see a little bit more of a sell-off, sideways correction. Most of the charts are all in the red as of right now, and when I woke up this morning, but not a huge substantial retracement just yet, just a little bit in the red for the most part. XRP was down 28% on that day to about 20 cents, having fallen session lower than 20 cents earlier in the day. XRP has lost about 75% of its value, hitting its 2-year high in early November. Let's see, any price targets here? Not necessarily price targets, but I thought this was just an interesting article because, you know, I think that this has an effect on pretty much the whole market for a whole too as well. And we're just definitely going to have to wait to see what happens with XRP, if they're going to end up paying this off or not. I think that they've already paid it off, to be honest, and now they're just waiting for the news, and probably some of their investors are still buying up the dip as of right now. So let's take a look at our next article here. Bitcoin mining stocks, wow, as cryptocurrency surpasses 28,000 for the first time. We're starting to see some of these mining stocks take off. And folks, we have two different, obviously, most of y'all know about MicroStrategies and their accumulation of Bitcoin, but there is one mining stock that I will reveal on today's video, so definitely stick around for that, and we'll reveal that that stock and that asset, and take a look at the charts. This was actually a reveal that I did on my Patreon channel, or my Patreon page. So if you're interested in joining us in the Patreon page, definitely check out the links in the description box below. But I gave this this chart in this stock away several months ago. The Bitcoin mining companies, Riot Chain and Marathon Patent Group. Oh yeah, Marathon. Okay, so it's right here. Yeah, so all you got to do is just do a little research, folks. I mean, that's all it comes down to. It's just doing your own due diligence, doing your own research, and things will appear for you. And then you take a look at the charts, and you can decide whether or not you want to invest in it. So obviously, Marathon Patent Group has invested a lot in mining equipment here in the past month or so, and we've seen their stock also just continue to rise up too as well. Riot Blockchain, I'm not too sure, I haven't looked at that. We can try and take a look at Riot Blockchain. Shares of Bitcoin mining companies Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group soar to Monday's morning following Bitcoin's rally of the holiday weekend. Bitcoin briefly jumped 28,000 on Sunday, one day after it passed 27,000 for the first time. The cryptocurrency trading about 27,200 on Monday. As Bitcoin increases, Bitcoin mining devices become more difficult and expensive to produce. In recent days, Bitcoin mining companies have announced major purchases of new equipment. Riot Gaming as much as 18% shortly after its opening bell on Monday. Shares jumped as high as $15 after closing $13 on Christmas Eve. Marathon Patent jumped from 28% to $14. Marathon and Monday announced it would purchase 70,000 mining rigs called Ant miners from Bitmain for $170 million. Marathon said that once the transaction is complete, it will have a fleet of over 103,000 miners. Last week, Riot said it would purchase 15,000 miners, according to Crypto Report. Riot said, in addition, would increase the cost efficiency of Bitcoin mining and keep it competitive as mining hardware becomes scarce. Shares in the microgrid software company CleanSpark gained as much as 16% on Monday as well. Last week, CleanSpark announced that it would add 1,000 Bitcoin miners to its fleet. Okay, so obviously we're seeing a lot of these companies jump on board when it comes to getting mining rigs, making sure that they have the equipment to continue to mine Bitcoin, because as we know, as you know, the more scarce Bitcoin becomes, the harder the difficulty. Also, the adjustments take place. You have the halvings every 4 years too, as well, and it's just going to make it even harder and harder and harder. You're going to have more equipment to be able to mine Bitcoin too, as well as the difficulty adjusts and further on and so forth. So very interesting, that we have these companies getting this many mining rigs too, all from Bitmain, which is definitely, it's a Chinese company, and that's where most of the cryptocurrency is actually mined out of, is China too as well. So that's just something to reference. Also, probably going to be referenced in the near future. That China is definitely the leader when it comes to mining cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. All right, folks, let's take a look at the charts here and move on over there. All right, so taking a look here at Bitcoin, sitting right at about 26,400 or so. And then if we're taking a look at the charts, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame here. We can zoom on in. We can kind of see how we've been kind of forming somewhat of a symmetrical triangle here. I'm still waiting for this to kind of play out. It almost looks like a descending triangle for the most part. If we are to kind of draw this out, I'd be a little cautious here. It definitely looks like Bitcoin's kind of taken a little bit of a hit compared to some of the other coins too as well. So I would be just a tad cautious. We are starting to see money flow also round off here on our hourly time frame. I was definitely keeping a close eye on our hourly. If we are to take a look at our 90-minute time frame, 90-minute time frame also shows a decrease in money flow too. We're seeing our red dot to the bottom side. Momentum's also kind of pulling us down here. We did have a red blood diamond here too on our candlestick pattern. So obviously the red blood diamonds don't mean that anything good can come of that. Probably going to continue to see some retracement here. Looks like we're trying to hold support on one of our pivot trend lines here, but if we do wick below that, I'd be a little cautious of us retracing a little bit lower. Taking a look at our 4 hour time frame, see what's happening here. Things are still looking okay, but we do have our momentum wave here on Cipher B that's continuing to head to the downside too as well. Folks, if y'all are interested in learning about some of our indicators that we use on this channel, we use the market cipher indicator by CryptoFace, which is this bottom blue wave and green wave down here. And then we also use the TI sequential by Tone Vase and the market guide buy and sell signals. So those are a few paid for indicators that we use with TradingView. If you're interested in picking those up, we have links in the description box below. So let's take a look at some higher time frames here. So obviously the 4 hour momentum waves are still trickling down. Taking a look at the 8 hour, maybe the 6 hour too as well. It does look like we could be getting a bounce, but I would still be relatively cautious here, to see this VWAP to give us a green dot possibly, but not counting on anything just yet. I still feel that our money flow on our lower time frames is going to kind of continue sideways for us, kind of hold us down just a tad bit. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these trend lines. I still think that we're going to consolidate out to the side for a little bit longer before anything else happens. Let's take a look at the dominance chart. Obviously, Ripple has been seeing a big sell-off, and could that mean that more money comes back into Bitcoin? Definitely a possibility. Taking a look at the daily chart here, it still looks like our momentum waves are headed to the downside. VWAP's also headed to the downside too as well. No sign of a green dot just yet. And then if we zoom out here on our 2-day chart, it looks like we're kind of in a little bit of a topping out phase, but money flow still looks relatively good on these higher time frames, so I wouldn't be too scarce just yet. I definitely think that Bitcoin's just kind of taking a little bit of a breather as of right now too as well. Let's jump over into XRP, and then we'll take a look at some of those crypto mining companies too as well. So jumping over into XRP to USD, let's see how the Ripple train is doing. Wow, folks, we jumped all the way down to 16 cents, man. That's crazy. So actually, if you reference yesterday's video when we talked about the XRP delisting from Coinbase, we pointed out 2 areas to keep a close eye on, which was our 22 cent level, and then we also pointed out the 16 cent area down here too as well. And it looks like we wicked all the way down to 16 cents, which is pretty amazing, folks. This was our last consolidation range. That's why we had a close eye on this. And if we continue to sell off here, this is our 3-day chart. Let's go over into the daily. Daily VWAP is still kind of moving sideways, and momentum waves are just kind of as of right now moving to the side. No sign of a green dot just yet, but could possibly be getting something like that too. I'm going to keep a close eye on these higher time frames as of right now to see if we have any room for recovery. But our 3-day chart wicked all the way down to that 16 cent level, and then if we are to zoom out here just a tad bit, I do want to see our last point of consolidation, or maybe our last local low, which was at about 11 cents or so. So obviously our next price target, if we continue to sell off here, which is definitely in the works, would be right around 11, probably around 11 to 12 cents. I'm going to say probably 12 and then maybe 11 if we wick that low. But folks, it looks like, Ripple's taking a nice little dive here. It doesn't look like it's going to recover anytime soon. Our higher time frames are still showing deep cuts here with our momentum waves to the downside too as well. So Ripple not looking pretty at all, folks. But let's move over into something that does look pretty, and let's take a look at some of these mining charts. So Marathon Patent Group, folks, this was a given for our Patreon page a couple of months ago, honestly. We posted about Marathon Patent Group. I said, hey folks, if y'all want to learn about some stocks that you can invest in that are relative to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I'm getting in on Marathon Patent Group. And man, I think we got in we got in right before, right after this blow off top right here. I made a nice little signal to the trading group, or maybe it was right here. I think it was actually right down here at, no. It was right at about $2, $2 or $3. I think I got in right at about $2 or $3. And our biggest sign here was our higher time frames. This company has been around for a very long time. We have this trend line that's drawn up here, and I'm still expecting probably a nice move up here, probably into the $18 area or so. Right now we're sitting at $11.40, but I'm expecting probably a retest of this trend line way up here, and our higher time frames just look relatively bullish here. You can even see on our 5-day time frame, money flow just now coming up into that greenish area. I'm thinking we come back up and retest all-time highs too as well, if we are to draw maybe a trend line here. Oops, yeah, that's right. So if we are to draw our next trend line up to the top here with Marathon Patent Group, oh, is that right? Okay, yeah. Looks like we started there, and then boom here. We're looking for possibly after we shoot past this trend line here on our higher time frames, probably about a $60 Marathon Patent Group stock too as well. So folks, this is obviously on the NASDAQ stock exchange. You can trade it on there if you want, and use your own broker or whatever. But obviously none of this is financial advice. I'm just some guy on YouTube. But these are some of the patterns that we're looking for. And then obviously Riot. Let's take a look at Riot, because I'm not 100% sure about Riot mining companies, but it looks like this company has been around for a long time too as well. Taking a look at the 6-day chart here, you can also see money flows kind of coming up into that greenish area for the most part, starting to move back into the green. And then if we are to kind of even zoom out a little bit more, maybe on the weekly chart, we'll get a little bit more conclusion here. It does look like we are still moving into that greenish area. Right now we're sitting at about $14 or so, and we could be headed higher. It looks like our next resistance level is right at about $66 or so too. So yeah, these are definitely stocks that you're going to want to keep a close eye on, and because they are going to be invested in Bitcoin, same as MicroStrategies too. We've seen MicroStrategies just continue to blow up here. It's quite amazing to see how bullish this MicroStrategy stock is as of right now, sitting all the way up at $343. That's just insane, from where it was at about $100 or so. So very, very cool to see these companies, these mining stocks, get involved in the space, and start to invest their money inside of the crypto space too as well, to continue its bullish rise. So folks, I think that's going to do it for today. We'll go over the DXY chart, and then we'll call the video to an end there. Taking a look at the DXY, see where our dollar value is sitting at as of right now, sitting at about 90 cents or so. As you can see here, and then we are taking a look at the daily chart, kind of referencing from there. We still have our yellow X that has been formed and giving us a nice potential to the downside here. I would expect to see this to probably sell off even more. You can see we've gotten a red dot on our daily, and it does look like our money flow is also moving further to the downside too as well. We've had Trump sign the stimulus package, and now more money is going to be floated into this market and hyperinflate this dollar, going into the abyss with the dollar. So make sure your assets are ready, make sure your bags are ready to go. But with that being said, folks, don't forget you can join us on our Patreon page if you're interested in learning about some of our alts that we're getting into and how we're trading this market, even all the way to some stocks that we're investing into as well. You can check that out, and then make sure you give me your Discord username so that way I can give you access to our private category on our Discord server whenever you join our Patreon membership. We also have a 16% off for the year if you're interested in joining. But with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and end it on there. And thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. If you're brand new to crypto, we have a beginner course in cryptocurrency too available for you as well. And without further ado, I'll see you all in the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.